Saturday. If you're new here, my name is Lisa. I make gardening and nature videos on YouTube and also TikTok. Today is a collab video with Grandma Sandy. She's the creator of Garden Tours Saturday, Suffolk Susie in New York, and Pat's Garden Life in the Southern States. We're going to start off the video today with going to feed the crows or any potential kitties that may stop by. I brought out my kitty treats. I'm just going to grab them. We are going to give them Temptations, tuna, and shrimp. And by the way, I put out a few more kitty bowls or crow bowls than usual. Temptations chicken, beef, and turkey flavor. No, I am not sponsored by any cat food companies. I wish. I'm thinking of adopting a kitty, but I don't have a kitty yet. I just enjoy the neighborhood kitties. Tuna and shrimp and salmon and tempting tuna. So let's see if any crows or kitties are going to join me in the garden when I put out the treats. We're going to take a little journey into the rock garden and check out what is going on there. First, we're going to stop and check out my cactuses. I rarely show these. These are actually house plants that most of the year they live with me inside the house. They've been outside since I'm going to say late May, early June. First, they were planted in the ground. I put them in the rock garden and they scorched in the sunlight. But they're still going strong. Then I transplanted them into pots and they're much happier being in pots. They have a lot of new growth. This is my coral cactus, one of my favorites. So now we're gonna go check out the rock garden and put out some treats for crows or kitties. It's been several days since I've put any food out for the crows, the kitties, or the doves that love to stop by. So we're going to give them a morning treat in the bowls I put out. I put out several food bowls today. We'll stop and appreciate the little snapdragons that are just starting to bloom. Oh man, I'm always pressing the wrong buttons on these little apps. Okay, this is food bowl number 1 out of this part of the garden. And we're going to empty this Temptations bag. See how much is left in here. Oh, not too much. We'll put another bag in there. See if I can put the camera down for a minute. Oh boy. I don't use a tripod very often anymore, so I just find natural tripods in my garden and outside in nature. So one bowl is full and we're gonna go see if we can fill up the rest of the kitty bowls or the crow bowls, depending on your perspective. Let's see, where can I put the camera for a minute? So much easier to do this with 2 hands. And there's a couple more bowls over here. I can hear the crows. A lot of smoke over the mountain today. The last couple days we've had a lot of local smoke hanging around. Definitely not my favorite thing, but it is what it is. It's wildfire season, so there's gonna be a lot of smoke sometimes. So we're gonna go back to the vegetable garden and check out what's there, and we'll be back later to see if anyone has consumed any of the treats. Just do a quick stop at the flowers. We're gonna check them out more later, but the zinnias are just stealing the show right now. They are so gorgeous. And the snapdragons are coming into life as well. And we'll take a peek at the others a little bit later. There's a lot of flowers to see right now. We are going to check out the vegetables, particularly the pumpkins. I'm going to show you what we've already harvested. You may have seen it already, but there's been a little bit of expansion in the pumpkin family. Just going to close the garden gate and turn the camera around. So these are the pumpkins I've harvested. I actually harvested more, but a couple I had to throw out or compost because they had been eaten. This is my little doorway arrangement. I've got like the mother pumpkin, the daddy pumpkin, the baby pumpkin, and the uncle pumpkin. They're all here, and there's going to be much more family expansion coming soon. There's a lot of pumpkins to be harvested. Good morning, Spirit in the Sky Blue. Welcome. Checking out the pumpkins first thing this morning. So this is the sheep manure garden. We've got pumpkin vines coming out of different places. They're not all ready to be harvested. Those were really early harvest pumpkins. Here's another one. It still has some more maturing to do. The pumpkin family, yes. There's another one that I didn't know if that was going to do anything, but I think if the weather is okay, it's actually going to mature, I do think. So that's kind of exciting. And we come around this way. My goal for this week on an unrelated topic is actually to clean this garden up. I pretty much never make goals. I don't make New Year's resolutions. I don't make short-term goals. I don't make long-term goals because I never, ever finish a goal. But I am determined this week to actually clean up this garden and plant a fall garden. So I'm not pulling everything out, but to do a massive pruning and to make space between this bed, and this bed. There's a lot of stuff that needs pruning and cleaning up. So my goal is by next Saturday to actually have a fall garden planted. So greens, perhaps some cabbage, a few different starter plants as well as seeds. A lot of these plants are going to stay, but they need to be pretty much pruned down almost to the ground so they can rebound. And then to have a much different garden by next Saturday. That is the goal. So we will see if it actually happens. But there is a good chance it could happen because I rarely get time off work. I work full-time or more than full-time a lot of times. And I actually have 6 days off this week. So I might potentially have the time to actually complete this. Fingers crossed. Doesn't happen often when I actually fulfill my goals. So we're going to try. And the only reason I'm telling you is to try to make myself slightly accountable if I don't do it. So here we go. Let's check out the rest of the pumpkins. We've got another baby pumpkin that is brewing. I don't see this one getting much bigger, although it very well could. It's been growing so slowly. This is a Japanese white boar pumpkin. And let's check out some more orange ones. Coming around. Oh, right, I forgot. I harvested the one over here. Into the major pumpkin patch. This, if you're new here, this is all one pumpkin plant. One freaking single pumpkin plant. I am beyond shocked. It was planted on this side of the flower garden in unaged horse manure. And it was a single plant. And I did not know this was going to happen. And let's do a little pumpkin count. There are quite a few pumpkins in here. We're going to start right by the lawn because this thing has literally gone from the flower garden into the rock garden into the lawn. So, how many pumpkins do we have? There were some that I picked off of here because they had started rotting. So we're basically going to see how many are left on this vine. I might actually start over here, try to work my way this way because it's so big. It is wild and it's full of powdery mildew. And I know you can treat it, but it's so infested with it that I'm just going to let it go. And hope that next season maybe it won't get mildew. So, pumpkin number 1 right here. Not ripe yet, but getting there. I think there's a green one I saw in here, but I can't remember where. Pumpkin number 2, just a short distance from number 1. pumpkin number 3, pumpkin number 4, and there's definitely a green one over here. Pumpkin number 5, pumpkin number 6, pumpkin number 7, pumpkin number 8, pumpkin number 9, pumpkin number 10, pumpkin number 11, and I know there's more coming this way. It's just a matter of remembering where they all are, because it's kind of a hot jungle of pumpkin and other flowers in here. And there's a few pretty flowers that popped up on their own. I'm not sure what they are, but they're gorgeous. It's giving me geranium / hibiscus vibes, and I don't know what it is, but I love it. I think we're on pumpkin number 11. At the back we have pumpkin number 12. And I think there's more in here. There's another flower. I don't know what this is. Similar to this guy, but kind of different. Love the colors. Oh, there's more. If I can only remember where. Dude, I think I said 12 or 13. I think 12. Well, that might be all I can show you right now. I think there's more, but I just don't know where they've gone to. One pumpkin plant so big, yeah, it is pretty darn huge. I never expected it. By the way, speaking of big, this blows my mind as well. I want to get a little closer to show you. Right here, this is alyssum, and no joke, this is one single plant. Like, this freaking blows my mind. I have grown alyssum so many times in my gardening journeys over the years, and I have never seen one alyssum plant do this. Like, this is wild. This is my fig tree, a Desert King fig tree, and a single alyssum plant has gone absolutely bonkers in here. This is just mind-blowing. I cannot believe this garden. So we're gonna go back to the vegetable garden. So I'd say, I can't remember if we said, I think 12 pumpkins. There could be more, but that's all I'm aware of at this moment in time. Let's check out what's going on. So I do want to clean this up this week. I did a massive tomato harvest in the last few days. I made a huge pot of chili that was almost overflowing the pot last night. So that's gonna last me a lot of dinners. It was delicious. I added a ton of the tomatoes. I had some homegrown apples that I pureed into the chili and some bell peppers. And oh my God, it was so good. These are my black tomatoes. They have been taking so long to ripen. I don't know if I have any examples right now, but they do actually, this green will go red. And I have some in the house, but I don't think I left any out here that I'm aware of, but there could be. And they take like literally a few months to ripen. Once they get black, it's really wild. But the texture is so good, and they stay nice and firm even when they ripen, which I absolutely love. One of my pet peeves with tomatoes is when they get too soft and squishy too fast. So these varieties, whatever this is, stays firm for a really good amount of time, which is fabulous in my mind. So we've got tomatoes coming out of everywhere. They are looking a little like they could use some love, this section of the garden. And so I'm definitely going to be working on that, seeing what I can harvest, what I can prune back, and get it looking less jungle-like. It's still going to be a jungle, but maybe we can rein it in a little bit by next week. And lots of sunflowers are still blooming out here. And interestingly enough, I did not necessarily remember doing this, but somehow the sunflowers over here migrated into this bed, which is kind of fun, and now they're blooming. I might have put one plant that I remember putting here, but I have at least 3, if not more, probably 4 or 5 sunflowers that have sprouted in this bed, so I'm not mad about it. It's kind of fun and exciting to have more blossoms here. And my lettuce, I have intentionally let it go to seed. I'm going to be like flicking away the seeds or trying to collect them and bury them, and then I'm going to pull these plants and start fresh with a nice fall garden of sorts. I had never harvested. I had a few baby beets. I should probably harvest those and actually do something with them. Didn't get very many, but that's all right. And this here, I don't talk about my big failures much, but these are total failures. My bell peppers started in pots. I had a couple in the ground and none of them really grew. They just look so pathetic, to be honest. But you win some, you lose some, and I definitely didn't win on these guys, but I won in so many other areas of the garden. It's all good. There's a little pansy plant growing in here, a few of them actually, and I'm going to transplant them into the rock garden pretty soon. I love when the flowers end up mixed with the vegetables. Sometimes I do it intentionally. Ooh, little bird. Sometimes it's unintentional, but it's kind of fun when you have a little more color in your vegetable garden. I think we're going to go and check out a little bit more of the rock garden again. You've never had a black tomato? Well, I never had a black tomato until this season. I went to a local plant sale in my neighborhood. It was actually the cat rescue organization that had a plant sale, and I have really been thinking about adopting a kitty, so I was all for supporting the kitty rescue. And they had a massive vegetable sale, and I bought lots of tomatoes there, and that's where it came from. And I'm so happy to have it. So that was a really fun find. So we're back in the rock garden. It is constantly evolving with the different flowers here, and I'm gonna say most of these flowers are from wildflower mixes that I spread out, I'm gonna say mid-spring. But what I did differently in this rock garden compared to my last rock garden, if you've been around for a while, I've had a rock garden at my last property for 4 years before I sold it and got this one. And I didn't know how to keep the flowers blooming into the fall. That was one of my biggest downfalls in the last rock garden, that I'd have a beautiful spring into early summer and then all the flowers would be gone for the most part. But in this garden, I really learned how to do like an evolution of planting. So instead of planting all of my seeds just in the spring, I scattered them from like early to mid-spring all the way into, I'd say a few weeks ago, I put some in another area of the garden. So I've been able to, like, let's just say, scatter them a little bit more in a different timing than I used to. And it's really worked well for creating a lot more color in the garden for longer, which I'm really, really excited about. A lot of echinacea has popped up and I'm so happy to have it. I had a little bit at my last garden, but it never seemed like it was growing in the right place. It didn't seem like it fit into that garden. I think it fits in here absolutely perfectly. This is Nepeta, and in the last couple weeks, it has just taken off with growth. These were little 6-inch starter plants, and they are quite large now. It's really, really pretty. And I love Nepeta as opposed to lavender. I have lavender too, but I feel Nepeta stays more pretty looking and lavender can get a little bit messy, but Nepeta seems to stay more compact and more civilized, if we want to be very descriptive. So that's one of the reasons I really like to have it in the garden, and I think I'm going to be transplanting a little bit I have in this part of the rock garden. It's going to be moving into one of these regions in the fall. I'm going to do a bit of transplanting. But let's look at my favorite flowers right now. This whole area of the rock garden, this is the cat-friendly part of the rock garden, is my absolute favorite. The zinnias have been blooming for a little while, and there's more of them blooming, and I am so in love with zinnias. Just check out the colors. This is like a cherry fire hydrant red, and on the same plant, we've got a beautiful orange. They start out this color and then they fade into this color, and I am so in love with these vibrant colors. And there's more and more of them opening up, which is so exciting. There's a little bit of baby's breath. And then we've got this flower. I don't know if this is a daisy or a zinnia. First popped out over here, and now there's more popping up. And I'm not mad about it. I love the fuchsia shade. It is so gorgeous. And then we've got the soft pink. Right beside it, there's pinks and lavender and yellow and white mixed with the mint plants, which is kind of fun. The mint is almost finished blooming. There's still some blooms, but starting to fade. And my goodness, when I water this garden, the fragrance of the mint is so potent. It is so lovely. And the bees really do enjoy mint. We're going to take a little look over here. My bachelor's buttons are starting to fade. And then this cluster is my most loved part of the garden. It is just so full of color. We've got a yellow zinnia that has just started to bloom. And let's do another sniff test. Now, what I've learned about flowers from all my years of gardening, flowers that smell different at different times of the day, as well as weather affects the fragrance of flowers. Sometimes after the rain, there's more fragrance or less fragrance. When it's sunny, morning or night can all impact how much you smell a flower. So we're going to just do a test on these zinnias and see what they smell like this morning. I cannot say what they will. Oh, that is lovely. So if you were here a few days ago, I did a zinnia and a flower smelling test. Shopping spree, flower smelling spree is what the theme was. And they didn't have a ton of fragrance, but this morning, oh my goodness, they are so much more florally and pretty, and I am so in love with that. And it's not too strong. Like it's minimal, but it's more potent than it was the other day when I was smelling them, and I love this. So nice. I just got to be careful I don't share the flower with the bees, because otherwise I might get a sting on my nose, and that wouldn't be so good. So let's check out some more of the flowers, maybe do a couple more sniff tests. So here, this is the flower. I don't know what it is. As I said before, there's one over there somewhere. And these are asters. I tried so hard to grow them from seed on my last property, unsuccessful, and here they are thriving. And these were from Dollar Tree seeds. So effective and so good for germination. I have nothing but positive things to say about Dollar Tree seeds. And more asters over here, some more zinnias, and let's do some more sniff tests. I'm just going to sit on the log over here and we'll do a couple sniff tests of these gorgeous blooms. Let's see. Let's go for purple next. We're going to sniff test a purple aster and see how it smells. I don't get a lot of fragrance on that one. The zinnia was much more potent. Little to nothing on that little aster. I mean, that's fine. It's probably different times of the day, like I said before, but I thought there'd be a little more. So let's try these little pink flowers, pink daisy-like flowers, and see if there's any fragrance. Not so much. That yellow zinnia was the best one so far. Let's try a pink zinnia. No, I'm not getting much there either. That is very interesting to me that the yellow one had so much more fragrance than the pink at this time of day. I find that quite fascinating, actually. Now we're going to try a petunia and see what the difference is, if we can smell anything there this morning. Let's see. Oh boy. Pressing the wrong buttons again. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of fragrance on these petunias. Let's turn the camera. I don't know if you could see that, but they have a little bit of fragrance. Not as much as this yellow zinnia, but there's something there and it's nice. Now, I think we're going to try some of these yellow flowers. Should we? Maybe the ones over here that are a little more open. I don't think I've ever tried to smell these flowers. I don't know what they are, actually. I can't even tell you the name, but we're going to give them a sniff test just to see No. Well, I also wonder, I normally, on an average day, I do have an impaired sense of smell. For a good part of my life, I don't smell like most people smell. I have a diminished sense of smell. But that being said, I do still smell. I do think I'm fighting a virus right now though, which is not so good. And I do wonder if it's changing my ability to smell a little bit, because I only really smelled anything on that first flower. So I am questioning now if this virus is starting to change things for me, which I don't like, but I'm definitely fighting something. So I didn't smell anything on the last flower. The only one I really smelled was that first yellow zinnia. And yeah, we're gonna look at my tomato plant out here. I have a few tomato plants and I do need to stake them. I didn't expect to get tomatoes here. I really planted them for the foliage, but there are tomatoes. And we're gonna look at the superstar right in this section over here. That's my sage, pineapple sage. This plant has shocked the heck out of me. This is actually 2 tomato plants. And it is like on fire with growth. So wild. And oh my, this is interesting. I just spotted a little feather in the plant. I think that's kind of fun, surprise. But look how many tomatoes are on here. This is kind of wild. I truly planted this for foliage to make this garden look more full. And I am shocked that it has this many tomatoes. I've picked 1 tomato from this plant so far that was ripe. I think deep down, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, there's another one that's getting red in the middle here somewhere, or a couple of them are getting red. So that's exciting. But what a fun surprise. I did this partly because I thought it would be neat for anyone who's walking by, because this is outside my fence, to see that you can grow flowers with vegetables. I don't know how many people have tried to do that in their own gardens, but I just wanted to kind of show people that yes, it's possible and it's kind of fun to do that. So I think I'm going to end my little live stream here. I don't have much else to show you. Maybe we'll end it with a sunflower peek. This guy popped out of nowhere in this part of the rock garden and I love it. There's a couple little pollinators doing their work in the morning. And there's the ones that are almost finished over the fence. Thank you for joining me on my little live stream this morning, and I hope you have a lovely day, evening, or night wherever you are. Bye-bye.